no matter who you are, we all probably do this one thing. We out here in these streets. We're driving.
Oh, yeah.
We're going here. We're going there. We outside.
Oh, we outside. For real.
So, with that being said, right? You ever taken a road trip?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was where did you go?
I went up to Boston, drove over to D.C., even went all the way down to Florida. That was a hell of a road trip.
Where did you go to Florida from?
From New York, from Brooklyn.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's like probably what, like 16 hours? More than that?
Yeah, way more than that.
Way more than that, right? It took you more than a day?
Yeah, all three. We had 3 different drivers driving at all times just to get there in like under a day.
That's wild. Yeah. Oh, you guys made it in under a day? That's crazy.
It was pretty reckless on the road.
Yeah.
It was pretty reckless.
Yeah. But at least it would probably have to be more if there were less drivers though.
Oh yeah, we definitely
like,
have to sleep there.
You know what I mean? Like
Me personally, I can't do more than like 5.5 at a pop before I start, swerving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Who did you, were they, like, who was it? Relatives in the car or friends?
All friends.
All friends.
All friends.
Right.
I think I don't have the patience for relatives for too long.
Right.
You run out of the conversations, just get a little stale, and then depending on who the relative is, you can't.
You can't get reckless.
You can't get reckless.
You can't get reckless.
You can't play certain things on the radio.
Right.
It's just a bit too much.
So that kind of brings me to this topic, right? Mm-hmm. It's rules of the road, car etiquette, especially because people are road tripping now. So, okay, so boom, car etiquette. So first of all, let's say you're planning a road trip, right? Who do you feel like you're taking with you in terms of the crew? So we already established road trips, family members, probably not it.
Probably not it.
If
If they're not like, cousins, people are of the same cloth as you, you don't want to go way too ahead in range. You're not dragging the young ones along.
Yeah, they need to be on your level of recklessness and age bracket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and relatability. Yeah. So cousins are in. The right one.
The right one. Yeah. You could drag one like level-headed cousin. Okay, hey, don't do that. Hey, we should probably take a rest. That one person. But everybody else got to be with the shits.
Yeah.
One level-headed person to keep everybody in check.
Yeah.
Everybody else is with the shits.
Yeah, you got to have the chaperone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to say.
Yeah, you definitely got to have that chaperone.
Outside of cousins, close friends, people who you can tolerate for, a couple hours.
Yeah.
They're not just a high and by friends, not just a, hey, let's go catch a movie. People who that can be around you is not going to irk your feelings.
I think on a road trip, what's most important, like not maybe most important, but one of like definitely top important aspects of who you bring on a road trip is somebody that you could be in silence with. So like if you're not that close to somebody, you always need something, right? You need music, you need a distraction, you need to like keep talking.
A buffer.
Yeah, because there's always like that weirdness.
Right.
You're getting close to somebody when you could be quiet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes I just need you to shut the fuck up.
Silence speaks volumes.
Yeah, like really, we just need to be able to sit here and look at some mountains and just be quiet. You know what I mean?
Be on our own head. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because I'm both introvert and extrovert, but if I lean to one, I'm actually more introverted than extrovert. And so for me, I need to recharge my battery. Right. So if I'm on a road trip, the only time that my battery pack could get recharged on the road is if you shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? So I can't have somebody who constantly wants to talk the entire time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to make sure you bring the right friends. You bring in a dream road trip. You bring in girls. You bring in a girlfriend. You bring in you bring in the wifeys. What are we doing? What are we doing with that?
I feel what are we going to do at our destination?
Okay, so like this is how I feel about women on the road trip, right? Is if the ratio's got to be right. Okay, so like if we all got a girl, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But realistically, does that ever really happen?
There's always the single one.
There's always the one who gets no bitches. There's always, you know what I mean? There's the odd man out. Yeah. So I just kind of feel like it's probably not going to happen that way. I've done a road trip where I've done a road trip from my duty station at Fort Campbell to, I think, Pensacola, Florida. Might have been somewhere more farther down south. It was probably like 8 hours, so you're talking 16, total. But then somebody came along that was a brand new soldier to the unit, a female, and all dudes. And it just created this very awkward environment where now, instead of just the boys are having fun, now we're competing. Yeah. And it became very clear and very obvious. And like, it just made people like butthurt towards the end of it. Right. I'm, you know what I mean?
Instead of dudes just chilling and enjoying the time, you got dudes out here peacocking, strutting their stuff. Right. All of a sudden, one guy, when did you get so funny? Now he's the one cracking all the jokes.
Now you the funny guy.
You the funny guy, huh? Okay, cool. Like people, characters change depending on the balance of the group. Yeah,
and I don't really like when like a guy's character changes around a girl. Like it's different if like you're like on a date and you're turning it up a little bit, right. You're suave, but that's on a personal date. But what I'm talking about is I don't like when guys switch up on their boys for the sake of a girl. Like that to me is just a bad sign. You know what I mean? And we all know somebody out there, that's done it. But yeah, man, I don't really like it. I've been in plenty of situations where, the boys are like, yo, look at that. Who's that over there? I'm like, hey, get it. You saw her first, right?
Yeah, go do it.
Shoot your shot. You know what I mean? I'm not going to interfere, but if you fumble, that's what I'm saying. Like if you fumble the bag.
Yeah, don't be mad.
Don't get mad. If you fumbled the bag, I can't sit here the whole time and keep my mouth shut.
Charge it to the game, man.
Yeah. So, with that being said, just having like one girl on the trip, I just kind of feel like it would change. It would just change the dynamic of the trip and make it bad in the end. Like I know for my trip, I was actually the one that ended up talking to her, and I could just feel resentment.
Feel the tension in the air.
I could just feel the tension in the air, and I didn't care for that. So yeah, either you're gonna have a good ratio or don't bring them at all. Don't bring them at all.
And then also you got to position people in the right spot. So everybody has a specific role depending on where you're sitting in the car.
Yeah.
So let's say shotgun. I think not just having the space in front of you and just sitting in the front seat is all cool and everything, but I think there's certain things that you should do.
You have responsibilities.
There's a responsibility in the shotgun role.
Yeah, for fact, because you're riding first class.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're my next pair of eyes on the road.
That's facts.
Right? If I'm about to pass this exit and it's 10 miles to the next one and ain't no turnaround.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at you and say, you didn't see the exit?
This is at the bare minimum, co-pilot. If you're sitting in that sacred seat, I feel like bare minimum, your responsibilities are directions and music. Bare minimum, bare minimum.
Yeah.
Additional duties, beverage and food handout.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Request it from the back. The snacks are in the back.
Yup.
All right. So if you're in the back seat, you're in control of the snacks, and just general conversation. You're in the shotgun, directions, and also, hey, keep the driver awake. Glance over every once in a while. See, see what's up. Hey, you want to switch out?
Yeah.
I think everybody has a certain role you should do and take it seriously.
Yeah. I think me personally, backseat is for the snooze. Backseat is for the snooze. Front seat, you got too much responsibilities at hand. I mean, you got to be up for a while. Backseat, you could snooze it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the rest area.
Yeah, we switch up. Put that driver in the back. Cycle out somebody else. Somebody else is now shotgun. Yeah. Shotgun's now the driver.
Yeah. You ever been in a situation though where like you deadass just like don't trust somebody's driving, so now you got to take an L and put other. Yeah.
We all know that one guy who takes his need for speed a little bit too much.
Yeah, the heavy foot.
Yeah. He thinks he's in the Fast and the Furious movie.
Right.
He's dipping and diving in front of the semi trucks.
Vroom.
Relax, bro. We'll get there.
Right.
We'll get there.
It's just so disrespectful to me that, like, I hate when people are driving so crazy as if my life doesn't matter. That's what pisses me off. Like, if you want to die, that's on you. But, bro, I am in the car. Relax.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Do that with your own hoopty. If you're in my ride and I'm entrusting you, we're on a road trip. Listen, bro, I love my life, okay? Treat it with care and drive right.
And that's usually the guy who's like, oh, I'm a good driver. Listen, I don't get into accidents, bro. I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I respect your skills. Just respect my life.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's
No.
Yeah, when other people drive, I rarely like. It's hard for me to sleep when other people are driving, just because I don't trust it. Oh, hold on a second.
Intermission. All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna get real on the show for a second. So, on the last segment, we had lights flickering.
Right.
I could have passed that up for any number of issues, but now you heard that, right?
I heard that.
I wonder if the audio and stuff is gonna pick that up.
It should. I know you guys heard that too,
bro.
Okay. Well,
my head's messed up now, man.
Where were we? Responsive. Okay, let's pick up passing the aux.
Yeah.
We all know that one person that got that quirky playlist. You know, they bounce from country to yodeling to trap and then back.
Right.
I think for the road trip, at least in certain segments, you gotta have some consistency.
Right.
You know?
Well, this is why it ties back into my head's still messed up over that, but it ties back into like the friend groups that you bring, right? So like that's why it's nice if you go on a road trip to have like consistency when it comes to culture and flavor, because now you're not running into that, right? Because it's true. Like sometimes, I've been in certain crowds where they just love country music, and some of it's good, most of it's not, but for me, it's not my flavor. But at the end of the day, I'm not the host.
Right.
I'm just a guest.
So who do you think should run it? Is it the person that's driving should have priority of what's being played because, they got to focus on the road? Or is it the person that's riding shotgun because, they're free with their hands? They could choose the song that's coming up next.
I honestly think that the goal number one is to keep the driver awake. So it doesn't really matter like what you want at the end of the day. Like you could be in the back seat and say you want this, right? But here's the thing. We got to keep homeboy awake. He's the one that's driving. So if you want to listen to Johnny Cash, but it puts him to sleep, that's not going to happen today. You know what I mean? I think overall majority rules. No matter what, when it comes to music and the car and stuff like that, majority rules.
Okay. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time, man.
Now, all right. So outside a road trip, let's just say, or even on a road trip, no friends, is you and your girl now. I'm pretty sure we've all been driving on the highway or driving around, and we see the chicks with the feet up on the dash.
Yeah.
Or the feet hanging out the window.
Yeah.
The way you're coming on to that, well, what's your take on that? Are you cool with the feet on the dash?
I don't really mind it like that. The only thing is bro, like I still to this day have like feet prints that I'm gonna be honest, I'm like too lazy because it's like in a crevice, And every time I get in my car, I'm like, damn, I gotta clean that up eventually. But I just don't because I'm lazy, and then it's just like in a weird spot, Yeah.
It's like that caddy corner where it's right up underneath the steering wheel, whatever.
Yeah.
It's where you rest.
I think, you know what? It just depends on the feet. Like if you got if you don't have feet, if you have paws, they're not going up on there. Yeah. They're not hanging out the window. I don't want everybody else to see those things. Nah, I don't want to be subject. I don't want to see it. So why am I going to subjugate the highway to them? You know what I mean?
Right.
If you got gargoyles for feet, they staying right inside those sneakers, right on the floor. They're not getting elevated whatsoever.
And don't ride out the gym sweaty feet. Don't do that.
No.
If they got the scent, keep your sneakers. Don't even have to put them on the dash. And some people are just cool. I'm taking my sneakers off in the car. 30 seconds later.
What's that?
Wind the window down. Oh, let me air this, air it out.
Yeah.
Nah, don't do that. So
Yeah.
Keep your shoes on in the car. If you don't got the right feet, keep them.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't have the right feet, and if you have the right feet or not. Like, I really feel like every human being knows if they got them feet or not. You know what I mean?
You should. But
you should.
Some people are more confident. It is what it is. To some people, feet are just feet.
Yeah.
And toes out, toes out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Nah, not this guy. Not every feet is gonna pass.
Not on my leather. Even if you don't have leather, if you got pleather, if you got the plastic, whatever your situation is.
Yeah.
Just respect the driver.
Respect the driver. What do you feel like is etiquette when it comes to gas? Because some people do it. Some people do it by your shift, right? So like whatever you drove, that's what you put in.
Okay.
Some people do it completely equal across the board. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just take turns and lose track. So what do you feel like is the way to go?
I go on a road trip. I always try to do like a gas fund. So everybody puts in an equal amount. If we're never going to go this many amount of miles, whatever, everybody puts in 100, everybody puts in 75, whatever. But we all put in the same amount, and all the gas comes from the gas fund. So then we're not say, hey, here's my card, or use my card last time, whatever.
Yeah.
It kind of eliminates that little tension at the pump.
Yeah, cause not all gas is the same. Like not all gas. Like if you're really road tripping, like it's gonna be different depending on where you go. You know what I mean?
Especially if your vehicle doesn't use that 87. If you're on the more leaning towards more premium side, even if you're mid grade, it does get that little tension. What are they charging in this state?
Right.
Exactly.
Especially now.
Oh man. Some places in the city,
I don't think anybody's going road tripping anytime now.
The last time I was in Brooklyn about 2 weeks ago, I saw some places down there as close as to $6.
I feel like if you road trip now, that's how you flex on them. Like how you flex on them. Like what'd you do this summer? I took a road trip.
No,
what? You did what? Yeah, son, you heard me. I took a freaking road trip. That's a flex.
That's a flex.
That is a 2022 flex. You went on a road trip with these crazy ass gas prices. But with that being said, everybody be safe out there. If you're gonna go ahead on the roads, make sure you get the right crew.
Make sure your driver doesn't suffer from road rage.
Make sure your driver doesn't suffer from road rage. Make sure that you get to your destination safe, turn up, and get home safe, because that's what's most important.
We're doing a survey around the country on the way population handles themselves and speaks and deals with their friends and interact with their peers.